Tuesday. Had a lost couple of days there. Uh, Saturday we got a bunch of snow, and Sunday it warmed right up and it all melted. And that ended up with a lot of water in the shop here. I had to spend the better part of Sunday sopping up water with the shop vac and getting the fans going to dry it up. So anyway, things are back to normal now. They say all the snow that we got on Saturday was all gone by the end of the day Sunday. So I'm going to be hopping around a little bit today. I'm going to do as many things as I can to get this thing close to running. So I picked up some parts and some pieces, and my exhaust gaskets did finally come in. So yeah, I'll might as well just get right to it, man. All right, so this doesn't look a whole lot different than the previous video, but things are moving along. So there's the pieces for my rad support. They're painted. When they're dry, I'll put them on, get the rad in place. I did do some modifying on these. I narrowed them this way a little bit, about half an inch, 5/8 maybe, just to give me some adjustability front and back on the on the rad support. I want to be able to move it front or back as needed with the inner fenders. So these are still a little wet, so when they're dry, I'll put all this together and get it in place on the truck. Also, if I'm going to fire this thing up, I'm going to want to hook up an oil pressure gauge. So I got this little kit here, and it's pretty cool. It's got all the different thread sizes and standard and pipe thread and whatever, and it's a quick connect, like an air fitting. So, you know, this end here just connects onto it. The problem with these is the size of this this fitting, how big it is, where the nut where you thread it in, put a wrench on it. Here's your access hole here. If you can see that, where is it? There it is, right down there. That's your place to get oil pressure. This fitting is too big and it hits the intake manifold, so you can't thread it in there. So I needed a nipple. So I went to the my local industrial supply store, and I picked up this. So this will thread into that hole. Put a 90 on it, fitting, and once I get this all in there, I have Teflon tape it and all that stuff. These fittings have rubber O-rings on them, but I'm not sure if I can get deep enough in there to seal it. So anyway, we'll get that in. So I'll have an oil pressure gauge set up, and my gaskets finally came in for the exhaust, so I can get that bolted up. Right now, they're just kind of hanging there. So, you know, just got to take off one nut and put the gasket in, tighten them up. So there's that. And then I want to rig up a temporary ignition switch. I have a bunch of different options. I could use a, you know, just a simple toggle switch to get power to the distributor, and a push button to actually start it, right? You know, there's that one or this one. But whatever, or a key. But this one is the winner. This one here has already got a bracket on it, so I can just clamp it down to a sawhorse, and it's got everything in one. Ignition, accessories, or run. So yeah, this is a winner. And the key's even in it. So found this stuff in a can of old stuff my dad left me. So yeah, that's going to be my ignition switch. I'll put all this crap away. So, like I said, my next step, I guess, would be to get the rad in place, and I can hook up my oil pressure gauge setup. I can get my exhaust gaskets on and that tightened up, and then maybe get the truck up in the air and hook up the transmission cooling lines. They're just sitting down there. See what I got to do to get them in. Then I'll need a belt and a couple of hoses I need a gas filler neck for the tank. And what else? Gas and charge up a battery. I'll have to find some wire here somewhere to wire up the switch. So, yeah, we're moving right along. So, I'll come back when I'm putting the rad in. Okay, so while I was waiting for that paint to dry, my gaskets are in and my exhaust is all bolted up. So both sides, it's good. Got my oil pressure rig in there with the gauge. So we're good to go there. Still got to put my distributor hold down bracket in. And I just remembered as well that I've got to put in all my valve cover bolts and load spreaders. I'm going to have to throw a coat of paint on them, I guess, and straighten them out because they're bent because somebody over tightened their valve covers with them. But anyway, we'll straighten it all out. So those pieces are dry now, so I'm going to go ahead, put my rad support and all that together and get that in the truck and we'll move on from there. All right, well, these pieces are a little tacky, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in anyway. This one here, I've already started the bolts. And there we go. Snug these up. Good. Good. Yeah, okay, now okay, looks pretty good. Should have put my bolts out earlier. I'm gonna go find the bolts and I'll come back. Okay, I was sopping up water yesterday. Moved stuff all over the place. Now I can't find anything. Come on now. Don't be stubborn. Why is that not going on there? It'll make it easier to do it this way. There we go. Now we're talking smart. You know, when you get older, your fingers don't finger like they used to. It's not as easy as it looks. There we go. Okay. Halfway there. Oh, you bugger. Okay, boom, boom. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, last one. Okay, I'm going to tighten all these up and then we'll slap her in. All right, that's it. It's in for good now. And you can see where the fittings are. There's lots of room. So we're good to go. It's quite a bit up higher on the rad. I mean, it could come up another inch or two, but whatever. I think it'll be fine. I'm right in the middle of my adjustment back and forth. So, you know, loosen a couple of bolts. When I go to tie in my inner fenders, I'll go to the exact spot it needs to be. But yeah, we're good. So I'm going to step out and get a couple of rad hoses, because I had one of my viewers wrote to me in comments that he had bought a rad on Amazon, aluminum rad, and not this particular brand, but whatever. And he hooked up his tranny lines and everything and fired it up, and the transmission cooling lines and the actual coolant in the radiator, they weren't separate. So his engine filled up with tranny fluid, his tranny filled up with engine coolant. It was a disaster. He had to flush everything out and drain everything and do the whole rigmarole. And he ended up going with a remote transmission cooler anyhow. So my thinking is, if I get the rad hoses on, fill the rad up with water, if nothing comes out of the two transmission cooling lines, then I should be good to go. Then I can go ahead and put those on. And then it's just a couple little things. I'm actually going to throw a battery on charge. And I got to dig up a gas filler neck for the fuel tank. And just a couple other little things. Like I said, the valve covers, bolt them down with gaskets. My hold down for my distributor. Put some gas in this thing and fire it up. So I'll just have to wire up the ignition switch. So anyway, that's about all the time I'm going to have for this today. Like I said, I'm going to head out now, pick up a belt and a couple of hoses. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So there you go. I'm so friggin' close I can almost smell the exhaust fumes. Yeah, right. Anyway, today's Tuesday, like I said, so you'll be seeing this video tomorrow, Wednesday. While you're checking out the video and subscribing, I'll be doing all the little things to finish off to get this thing ready and fired up. I want to start it on Thursday, so I'll make the video up of me doing that, and the engine fire up video will be out Friday, so be on the lookout for that one. You know, this old truck here sat lifeless in a ditch for 35 years, so see if we can make it live again. And yeah, I almost feel like Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. Anyway, yeah, like I said, please subscribe. I truly would appreciate it. Just trying to grow the channel, man, and have fun. You know, it's cost nothing to subscribe, so just a little click of the mouse. That's all it is. Painless. I don't want any money from you or anything like that. Just your subscription would be good enough. Yeah, what else? Yeah, so I'm gonna dig up some wire tonight and rig up an ignition switch. Hopefully the battery I have will hold the charge. Gotta get some gas in this thing. What else? Oh, there's a couple of vacuum lines left yet to block, and one other oil galley to block off as well. Valve covers, just little dinky crap, you know, aggravating stuff, but all stuff that has to be done. I'm also going to strap maybe a couple of straps from the top of the rad support down to the frame so it doesn't move around and accidentally hit the fan. That would suck. Yeah, so I don't think I need anything other than belts and hoses as far as parts go. I got everything here. So We're gonna rock and roll, man. I can't wait. And hopefully she fires right up. You know, fingers crossed, guys. So if you're not doing anything else, you know, get in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.